Hello, I'm Nick, and welcome to Dinner and a Review Show. Today, we're going to be talking about an awesome movie that came out late Christmas 2024, Nosferatu. In 1922, F.W. Murnau created Nosferatu, the first vampire movie and blatant ripoff of Dracula, so much so Bram Stoker's estate almost wiped it out of existence. But instead of fading into the shadows, it survived, haunting generations of movie lovers and inspiring everything from goth culture to SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, over a century later, Robert Eggers, master of atmospheric dread in films like The Witch and The Lighthouse, has resurrected this silent classic with his own rendition. But can Eggers recapture the haunting magic of the original while bringing something fresh to the table? Let's sink our teeth into it and find out. I'll just give you a little fact about myself. I'm a huge fan of vampire stories. Whether it's the gory chaos of From Dusk Till Dawn, the sprawling gothic epic of Coppola's Dracula, or the pixelated and animated brilliance of Castlevania, I've always been hooked. I mean, who wouldn't want to see vampires kick ass in The Lost Boys, or get utterly creeped out by the dread of Salem's Lot? There's just something about vampire lore that's endlessly fascinating to me. So, the overall point I'd like to make to let you know about Nosferatu is, I'll just say it right now. I dug this movie. I loved Nosferatu. This movie was written and directed by Robert Eggers, who gave us movies like The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman, and yeah, now Nosferatu. Man, he knocked it right out of the park. I felt like he was made to make this movie. Every shot, every moment, felt old school, felt like a good flavor, it kind of felt like an independent film, but at the same time, I really loved the old school feel and how modern it kind of felt. So yeah, I just gotta say, I loved the edits. I loved everything. Felt so silent, so tone at times. I felt the horror. Bill Skarsgård, masterclass performance. The thing with Bill Skarsgård's rendition of Count Orlok is, unlike other vampire or Dracula stories, there's no attempt to humanize him here. No tragic backstory, no sympathetic angle. He's just flat out irredeemable evil force of nature. And honestly, that's what makes him so terrifying and unforgettable. And I couldn't even tell it was him at the time. Whoever did the makeup on that movie, whoever did the character designs or character ideas of how to make him look and everything, absolutely phenomenal. I just didn't want to be in the same room as this guy. He was just really, it was that intimidating. He was evil incarnate. So yeah, and this goes into the other character, Nicholas Hoult, who plays Thomas. Now, talking about Nicholas Hoult's performance as Thomas is, wow, he absolutely nails it. We're basically seeing this entire nightmare unfold through his eyes, and Hoult flawlessly conveys the trauma, horror, and sheer terror of being introduced to Count Orlok. You can feel the dread radiating off of him in every scene, and even after his encounter, you see how deeply it haunts him. It's gripping, it's chilling, and it's one of the most human elements of the film. I was speechless just to see how, I was in his shoes the entire time while he was going through the experiences he was having going on this mission to meet with Count Orlok for the moving of the plot. And Lily Rose-Depp, who plays Ellen, who's the fiance of Thomas, played by Nicholas Hoult. Now, Lily Rose-Depp's Ellen is the emotional anchor of this story, and her performance is nothing short of chilling. She's the one most deeply affected by Count Orlok, and it's absolutely terrifying to watch. Honestly, it reminded me of Regan from The Exorcist, that same level of pure convincing horror that sticks with you. What makes it even more impactful is that compared to the other characters Nosferatu preys on, you actually learn the most about Ellen's backstory, which makes her descent into terror all the more haunting. It was on another level. It was insane, and I was even scared for her. I was scared for the people in the room where she was actually impacted and showing how possessed she was. It was just, oh my god. And then enter Willem Dafoe's character, who's basically the Van Helsing character of the story. Like, you can tell something was off about him by the time they introduced him into the movie. Willem Dafoe's character brings a whole different flavor to this dark and eerie film. There's something just a little off about him, and it adds a strange, almost comedic energy while still keeping things tense and horrific. You can tell this guy has seen some shit, and Dafoe plays it with this over-the-top intensity that somehow fits perfectly. It's off-color in the best way and gives the film a unique and unpredictable edge. He brought his A-game to this role. You can tell he's there to work whenever he wants to work with Robert Eggers, which I think is his 4th film he's worked on with him. All the actors in this movie did a great job. Now goes to my favorite moments and my favorite scenes in this movie. You see Thomas go on his journey to go to the castle to visit Count Orlok, and like everything is silent. There's even snow in the background, there's shadows. Like, I don't know how Robert Eggers did this shot. He's a pure genius at just the way that he was like, this has got to be like effective. Like, the quieter it was, the angles of the shots, and like everything, like taking his quiet moment, and you just hear the quiet breaths whenever he's like going into like the carriage, and then from the carriage going from there to the castle. The castle scenes are insane. You feel like you're in like the Beast's worst nightmares from like Beauty and the Beast or something like that, but it's Count Orlok, and it's like you don't want to live in this thing. You don't even want to be held captive by a beast like this. So all the scenes with Orlok in it, I felt the presence. I was like, I loved Bill Skarsgård's performance in this. This has got to be his best role, in my opinion. I like it better than Pennywise and anything else he's ever done. And I think this is, much like Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight, Bill Skarsgård is Count Orlok. Perfect. Amazing. It was good. It was just like a straight tragic story, or a gothic horror story, and it was so good. So in the end, I love this movie. From the guy that they chose to direct this movie, who was made to direct this movie, Robert Eggers, to Bill Skarsgård being born to play Count Orlok, to Nicholas Hoult playing Thomas, Lily Rose-Depp and playing Ellen, and to Willem Dafoe. Everybody brought the A game. The people that worked on this made it a very, very intimidating film, very gripping film, and honestly stands the test of time and would make the people who made the silent film back in 1922 proud to just give it more meat and bones and legs to it. So the rating I'm giving Nosferatu is gourmet gold. It was amazing. It was fantastic, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who's in it. But keep your kids at home because obviously it's an R-rated movie. So in the end, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.